The time frame for resolving a personal injury case almost always is driven first and foremost by the recovery time for the injured person. We really don't want to get out in front of the medical treatment. If we settle a case, that's for all time. If we did it prematurely, the client is sort of out of luck a little bit. If the client learns later on that something was much more serious than he or she might have thought. So we really want to let the doctors do their thing. Meanwhile, there's a great deal we want to be accomplishing first. Another example of what that might be would be the insurance company that we think will be responsible needs to evaluate a case, and the shorthand of it is they need to set reserves on cases. Once they set a reserve on a case, they don't really want to hear later that the case is worth a lot more than that. They have a lot of accounting that goes on. We want to be communicating with them fully and properly right up front so that they know full well what this case might entail. But really, in terms of finishing the case, even though we're working on it, we need to let that medical care take its course. If the medical care is far enough along that we can see light at the end of the tunnel, we might well be able to start pursuing settling the case like that. And the resolution of the case might pretty much coincide with completion of the medical care. Oftentimes, we need to let the medical care finish. It may be that there was a question of whether injections might be necessary or another round of physical therapy or perhaps a surgery if those failed. And sometimes we don't get the A-OK that surgery isn't needed until the treatment actually is all done. There was further improvement and we now know treatment is done, in which event we try to then really pursue it fully to resolve it at that time. But in sum, we really want to let the medical treatment course take precedence so that the client gets the proper treatment, gets the full recovery, and so that our settlement proposal will encompass everything that happened to the client. Depending on the injury, that could be simply weeks. It could be a few months. Sometimes it's a couple of years. Fortunately or only, we don't get to wait forever. There's a statute of limitations. It's usually 3 years from the date of the injury. If we can't resolve a case within that period, or if we just think it's taking too long, maybe because someone else we think is dragging their heels, we would file suit a lot sooner.